Today, what we're going to cover is we're going to cover the powerful connection between how you wake up and your happiness, your mindset, and your ability to be a deliberate thinker, okay? So there's a massive connection that is well established in neuroscience, in all kinds of research studies around the world by people a lot smarter than me, that there's an undeniable connection between your happiness, your productivity, your sense of control, the mindset and mood that you have all day long, and how you wake up. Notice I didn't say when you wake up. I said how you wake up. And in today's training, I'm going to explain the science around sleep, mindset, and how you should wake up every morning in order to set yourself up for the most positive mindset, the best sense of control, and the most positive mood and productivity that you could have. This is all based in science. This is not something that I'm making up. And this is also the way that I live my life. And it has been a game changer. After I explain this training, it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes tops. Then I'm going to answer some questions from the training yesterday about plugging your phone in. And I will preview what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Because we're spending this entire week, now that I've taught you everything about deliberate versus default thinking, I'm now teaching you how to create a powerful morning routine so that your morning routine reinforces your ability to be a deliberate thinker and to have a positive mindset all day long, okay? So we're going to go step by step by step. You already know that the night before, you're going to plug your phone in outside of your bedroom, away from your bed, so that when that alarm goes off in the morning, you're not reaching for your phone while you're lying in bed and reading social media and the news, which is going to make you feel depressed and anxious. That you're getting out of bed and you have the ability to start your day without your phone in your face. That is critical for your mindset. Now let's talk about the actual act of how you wake up. Not when you wake up, but how you wake up. And this is science, okay? Super important for you to understand that. If you've been following me for a long time, you've probably heard me talk about the fact that you should never, 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 never hit the snooze button, okay? And let me explain why. Here's how I want you to wake up. When the alarm rings, get out of bed. Period. You want to be a happy person. You want to have a positive mindset. You want to take control of the anxiety, the depression, and the stress that you have. Do not allow yourself, number one, when that alarm goes off, to turn it off and lie in bed and start to ruminate in your mind about everything that you've got to do today and how stressed you feel, and to marinate in those negative thoughts. I do not want you to do that. You're going to use the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're going to get out of bed. The other thing I do not want you to do is I do not want you, like I used to do, I do not want you, when the alarm goes off, to reach over and tap the snooze button. The reason why I do not want you to ever tap the snooze button is because of how snoozing for a couple minutes impacts your neurology. It impacts your brain function. Again, this isn't something I made up. This is well-established research. You see, I used to be a chronic snooze button hitter. When Chris and I were going through a really rough time, or I notice in times in my life where I'm feeling stressed out or overwhelmed, when that alarm goes off, there's a small hesitation where I start to feel a little stressed and overwhelmed when I think about the day ahead. And it just feels so safe and so satisfying and so tempting to reach over and hit the snooze button and doze off for 9 minutes or 15 minutes. And then the alarm goes off again, and then I reach over and hit the snooze button, doze off for 9 to 15 minutes. And then the alarm goes off again, and then I reach over. And the reason why it's tempting to do that is because you're delaying having to deal with your life. You are giving yourself a false sense of control that I can find 9 to 15 minutes to just avoid having to deal with what I want to deal with. And so I don't want you to do that. And the reason why I don't want you to ever hit the snooze button is because of how dozing off for 9 to 15 minutes impacts the way that your brain works. So let me explain to you the science of sleep. Let me explain to you why the snooze button is such a dangerous thing to do for your productivity, your happiness, your mindsets, your ability to be a deliberate thinker, your ability to be in control of your life. And look, I know that at least 65% of adults hit the snooze button every single morning. So the reason why I don't want you to ever hit the snooze button and why this is so important if you want to be in control of your mindset, of your happiness, of your mental health state, is because of the science of sleep. So you and I sleep in cycles. And the reason why we sleep, there's a lot of reasons why we sleep, but there's one main reason. Obviously, we fall asleep because our body needs to rest and rejuvenate. But there's another major reason for why we sleep, and it has to do with brain function. When you sleep, when you and I are falling asleep, half of our brain is allocated to running our body functions. The other half of our brain is able to basically just shut off and not really work. And while you and I are sleeping, do you know what your brain is busy doing? Your brain is busy taking all of the memories and things that happened to you today, and it is returning those memories and storing them in your brain, almost like returning books to a giant library system. If you didn't sleep every night, you would have no memories. One of the main reasons why we sleep is because by resting and allowing part of your brain to shut down for a while, your mind has the ability to store all of your memories from today. You wouldn't have any memories if you didn't sleep every night. And so part of the reason why sleep's so critical has to do with your brain function. It has to do with your cognitive abilities. And so the way that sleep works is we fall asleep. We sleep in cycles of about 75 to 90 minutes, and then we start another one. And we go into another sleep cycle for 75 to 90 minutes. And then we typically start another one, and we start another sleep cycle that goes 75 to 90 minutes. And after 2 or 3 sleep cycles, or heck, if you're lucky, 4 of them, your body and brain go into a mode where for about 2 hours, your brain just goes into a state where it's getting ready to wake up. So for those of you that wake up naturally before an alarm goes off, or the alarm goes off and you've had anywhere from 6 hours plus of sleep, your mind is now in a state, it's not in a sleep cycle, where it is ready to wake up. It is ready to start the day. It is ready to be deliberate. If you wake up in that state and then you reach over and hit the snooze button and you doze off for 9 to 15 minutes, what do you suppose your brain starts again? If you're thinking a sleep cycle, you'd be absolutely right. And how long does a sleep cycle last? A sleep cycle lasts 75 to 90 minutes. So you drift off into a sleep cycle, your brain does, which lasts 75 to 90 minutes. All of a sudden, the alarm goes off 9 to 15 minutes later. Your brain is in a sleep cycle. You are in a medical, neurological state right now that scientists call sleep inertia. It means that by falling into a sleep cycle and waking yourself up 9 to 15 minutes in it, the cortic region of your brain is now trapped in a sleep cycle. And do you realize it takes your brain, once you're awake, 4 hours to shake itself loose of the state of sleep inertia? Why is sleep inertia a bad thing? Studies prove that when you're in a state of sleep inertia, it impacts your speed of processing, it impacts your ability to focus, it impacts your ability to do any kind of strategic thinking. So for you, if you're a chronic snoozer like I used to be, and you sleep and then the alarm goes off, then you hit snooze, then you drift into a sleep cycle, then the alarm goes off, then you hit snooze, then you drift into a sleep cycle, and then the alarm goes off and you get up, your brain, you know how you say when you're a snoozer, you're always like, I didn't get any sleep, and you feel so groggy and tired, and you keep saying, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Guess what? Has nothing to do with how much sleep you got. It has to do with the fact that when the alarm went off, instead of getting up, you started another sleep cycle. And then when the alarm went off 15 minutes later, you woke yourself up, and now your brain is trapped in a sleep cycle. You're in a state of sleep inertia. It has nothing to do with how much sleep you got. It has everything to do with how you woke up. You literally have screwed yourself over. And so here's the deal. Here's one more piece of proof I can give you. You know how on the weekends or on a day that you're not working, the alarm goes off and you decide, oh, I'm just going to turn the alarm off and I'm going to snooze for a minute. You don't turn on the snooze button. You just turn the alarm off. Have you ever noticed when you go back to sleep on your own, how long do you normally drift off asleep for? An hour to 2 hours. That's because your brain is executing a sleep cycle. You do it naturally. You've had that experience before, haven't you? Where you've turned off the alarm, drifted back to sleep, and holy cow, you sleep for like 90 minutes. That's a sleep cycle. So that's why I never want you to hit the snooze button. Because when you hit the snooze button, you force yourself into a sleep cycle, you wake yourself up in the middle of it, and then the first 4 hours of the day, you are battling sleep inertia. There's only one way to shock yourself out of sleep inertia, and that's to step in a cold shower. So if you ever have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning when you probably are in the middle of a sleep cycle, just step in a cold shower. That'll shock your brain awake and you'll be out of a state of sleep inertia. If you keep hitting the snooze button, I am going to tell you something. It's going to make your anxiety worse. It's going to make your depression heavier. It's going to make your attitude negative. It's going to make your ability to focus harder. It's going to make your ability to be deliberate harder. And the simple solution is to force yourself out of bed. So building on last night, what you did is you plugged your phone outside of your bedroom so that when you wake up in the morning, your phone is not within reach and you don't grab it, setting yourself up for success. Today, we're now going to do the wake up challenge. So today, here's your assignment. Tonight, when you go to bed, let's build on this. You're going to plug your phone in outside your bedroom and you're going to do the phone challenge so that the phone is nowhere near you. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm goes off, use the 5-second rule. Do not reach for the snooze alarm. You're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are going to get out of bed. If you have to wake up very early, hop in a cold shower. It'll snap you out of it. That's all I want you to do for today. I want you to take the no phone and add in the no snooze button challenge. And I want you to notice how different you feel. I want you to notice if you're a chronic snooze button hitter. Do you feel a little bit more awake? Do you feel a little bit more focused? Do you feel less groggy than the mornings when you hit the snooze button over and over and over again? Because you know what? The answer is yes. You are going to feel less groggy. Yes, you are going to feel more awake. Yes, you are going to be more in control and more deliberate about what you're thinking about. And so that's all that I want you to do today. Continue to notice your limiting thoughts and then redirect them to something more positive. Remember, it's not an event to have a positive mindset. It's a process. So all day long, keep noticing where you feel like you're not good enough. Keep noticing where those limiting beliefs are popping up. And now we're adding in the skills that give you boundaries and discipline and habits that protect your mindset. Plug the phone in outside the bedroom. When the alarm rings, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get your butt out of bed and do not hit that snooze alarm. Will you be angry at me? Most likely. Am I okay with that? You better believe it. Because these small changes, while they're irritating, you're capable of making them. And when you make them consistently, what's going to happen is you're going to start to gain control of your actions, of your mindset, and that's going to have such a game-changing positive impact on your life overall that I'm willing for you to be annoyed with me as you get out of bed every morning, because your dreams deserve to come true. And you deserve to live without anxiety. You deserve to live successfully with depression. You deserve to feel less overwhelmed and less stressed out. And it all comes down to these teeny tiny little tweaks that you're making all day long. I'm not going to think I'm not good enough. I'm going to think I'm willing to try. I'm not going to think nobody likes me. I'm willing to tell myself that the people that are around me love me. I'm not going to think I'm an imposter. I'm willing to think through hard work I can learn anything. By making these small changes, you will change absolutely everything.